What's up, family? This is Late Night with Dr. Tranell Stewart, and you are tuned in. I am your host. You are tuned in to what's going to be an amazing topic. I've been thinking about this topic for quite some time now, but this is the first night that I'm going to be talking just a few minutes with you about this. So make sure that you grab your family, grab your friends, because we're going to be talking about grace. What does that mean? Why was it given for me, for you, regardless of who we are, what we've been through, or what decisions we've made? Grace has been extended by God as a gift to us. So make sure that you keep it locked right here because this is what we're going to be talking about today. Share this program, share this particular show with your friends because if I don't, if I cannot define it, a lot of people that will be listening here today will actually hear something I believe that can change your life, change your way of thinking, change your perception that you have. So grace is something that to me, it took me a while to really grasp what it really means. So it's changed, my whole perception, and I wanted to share that with you guys today. So keep it locked right here. We're going to take a quick music break, and I want you to take this time to like, share, and follow. It's going to be a good show, y'all. I'll be right back after this.
You're listening to Your Slide Worldwide Podcast.
Snatching those out the fire who have laid down their sinfulness and selfish desires to pick up the cross and inquire of him who is filled with mind-boggling holiness, holiness, holiness. The one who returns and causes violence and pain to cease and release peace and reverse the enemy's curse. Enemy's curse. It is not the one who sits in a box with green legs and hair, but it is the one they call an it, and it is. I am that I am. I am that I am. It is not the one who sits in a box with green legs and hair, but it is the one they call an it. I am that I am. I am that I am. In the beginning, the author of man kicked Satan to the curb because he observed the works and became a little smarter and became a nerd and thought he should be the head of the herd. Not. The bloodshed of the dead is crying out from the pews, and the glory of the Lord is slowly, 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 slowly departing from the temples, and not just those that are carved by men with the pretty colored windows painted of I am that I am on the outside and inside, but only those that haven't painted on the outside who forgot about him dwelling on the inside. It's not the one who sits in a box with green legs and hair, but it is the one they call an is. An is. I am that I am. I am that I am. Oh, it's not the one who sits in a box with green legs and hair, but it is is the one they call an end. I am that I am. I am that I am. If we remember how God kicked Satan to the curb and we observe the enemy's works and we become a little smarter and we become a nerd and we reverse the enemy's curse. So grip this and don't get it twisted, because I am that I am has equipped us to flip Satan's script and bring it back to God's original script. 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 He sent Jesus to bring it back to God's original script. To bring it back to God's original script. He called you and chose you to bring it back to God's original script. Bring it back to God's original script. I am that I am. Can I be I am that I am in your life today? Can I be I am that I am in your life today? Oh, I am that I am. No longer living in fear. You dried up my tears. You brought joy to my life. You created me what I've been dreaming. No longer living in fear. You dried up my tears. You brought joy to my life. You created me what I've been dreaming. You're everything I've been searching for. This other life I'm not living no more. I was tired of how I was walking. Was tired of how I was talking. I needed you in my life. Pick me up when I felt so low. Being with you, I feel so high off of life. Can't imagine life without you. I'm high off of you. Nobody but you. No longer living in fear. You dried up my tears. You brought joy to my life. You created me what I've been dreaming. No longer living in fear. You dried up my tears. You brought joy to my life. You created me what I've been dreaming. Brought me out. My mind is healed. I've been redeemed. Can't imagine my life without you. It's in my wall. It's in my tone. You set me free. Can't imagine my life without you. Without you there, loving me the way you do. It's the joy I found when you renew my mind. Oh, I love you. Yes, I do. Hey, no longer living in fear. You dried up my tears. You brought joy to my life. You created me what I've been dreaming. No longer living in fear. You dried up my tears. You brought joy to my life. You created me what I've been dreaming.
You're listening to Your Slide Worldwide Podcast.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Late Night with Dr. Tranell Stewart, and we are talking grace today. I know this topic all too well, and anybody that knows me knows I'm very open, very transparent, and grace has been the thing that saved me from so much, and I'm sure a lot of you that are listening has been the thing that has saved you as well. This topic is near and dear to my heart. I didn't always recognize it or even acknowledge it when it was given to me, because I couldn't understand it. Life is made up of, a whole bunch of the decisions, a series of the decisions that we make. And some of these decisions, and I know, like for me, it kept me in a state of bondage. And I know many of you can relate to that. And what I mean by this is those decisions can very well affect what we think about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves. It builds and creates a perception about ourselves that can have us actually rejecting grace. And specifically when we realize that we are constantly weak, or we're all constantly in seasons where we feel like we just can't get it together. The truth is that we all fall at some point. We all go through life. Our life hits us. When they say the baby is born into sin, the baby is born into a world of all this catastrophic things happening, events, people, the enemy. This is his playground, and so we're born into this world of sin. We have weaknesses. We're in touch with others that have weaknesses as well. And so we, at some point in our lives, we're going to fall. At some point, we're going to experience these type of battles personally, as well. The truth is, we don't deserve grace. We really don't. But it's given freely to us anyway. Because a lot of those decisions that we make, let's just be real, we make them based on the desires that we have that may not have anything to do with God or what God said or what God has destined for your life and what God has said he has for you. It has nothing to do with that. These are the things that we desire, that we want. And so we make these decisions based on those desires without consulting God and without, paying attention to his will for our life. And we get ourselves into trouble, but God. And that's where grace comes in. It is unmerited favor. What does that mean? No one can return to God. No one can turn to the presence of God. No one can get into his presence without divine grace. And that grace is the opposite of karma. So, we know what karma is. Karma is you getting what you deserve. Most of the time, this is what we talk about. We want people to get what they deserve when they hurt us, when they do things that spite us, that make us feel bad, that tear us down. But instead of praying for them, instead of, doing the things that we should be doing, we're expecting or desiring karma to come up on them. And grace is the opposite of karma. Okay? Grace is something that only can be given by God, because this is a gift from him. This is something that, if you are able to operate in and walk in it, that you have the Spirit of God. That God is in you based on that, because us and our human ways and our human mind, we can't even love the way that we're supposed to love without God coming in to change our heart. Because the Bible tells us, that what's in our heart, the human heart, is deceitful and it's all these negative things. And that's why it's so easy to tell if a person can say, Lord, Lord, or if a person can claim Jesus as our Lord and Savior, he has something of God in him or her. But when you're talking about the heart, when you're talking about the heart, God says there's nothing good in it. So that means if we're operating in good and mercy and grace, then that means that the Spirit of God is the one that's in the forefront, the one that's doing that. He's gifted you something. I can give just a testament. I don't know why, but for me, it doesn't matter. It could be certain people in my life when things happen. Um, I can forgive pretty quickly. I may be hurt by the situation. I may, feel a certain type of way, but at the same time, I have these moments where I can release, anything that I may be feeling and go pray for them. I can release anything I may be feeling and go to them or be available to them when it's necessary. And I do believe that it's because I've had to experience grace. I've experienced what I don't deserve because I'm messed up too. So I get these things, this gift from God, this awesome thing from Him, and He says, "Okay, I'm gonna cover you. I'm gonna still, allow these things to happen. I'm gonna still allow favor in your life. I'm gonna still, do these great things for you, even though you made these decisions or you went this particular direction. Now, I am not condoning just doing whatever you want to do. And I'm not saying that's how I operate. But what I am telling you is that this grace that we hear about and that we all experienced in our life is so special. And it should be handled with care. And just knowing that this gift is available to us, or that has been or played a part in our lives, should just make you want to really submit and love on God every chance that you get. Grace can truly be understood in the midst of sin, suffering, or brokenness. When you really get down to the pit, when you really got to go down into the valley, that's when you really collide with grace. And this is what gets me, and it always has, I believe. I grew up with little knowledge of a relationship with God. Little knowledge of the relationship. But see, what I did here was about religion, the laws, what you can and can't do. And I heard, and I believe that's what kept me away from really wanting to pursue God. And I heard all these good things, but I didn't really see how I needed God in my life based on the laws that I heard. I just knew I couldn't do them, so I couldn't uphold that, I couldn't do what He wanted me to do. I couldn't be this person that, they said I should be, or so I kind of shied away from that. But when life hits us, and sometimes it's in the hardest seasons, we collide with the truth of who God is. And so and we find out what that means to live in Him in us. I mean, God will strip everything away from you just to show you that He's God and show you how much you need Him and demand your dependence on Him, so to speak. He is the gift. He is grace. He is the reason that we don't get what we deserve. He is the reason. But what I believe is that we tend to put God in this human box. And then we put human relationships, the relationships that we have, in this unfair position. Because what we're trying to do is we're expecting those who are in our life that we have a relationship with to be God, to operate like God, to show us grace when we've hurt, to show us grace when we've done things wrong. But they're human. they don't always operate in that way. You don't always experience that. But one thing about it, I believe, is that when you catch it, it becomes contagious. And so if you catch the fact that you don't deserve it and God gifts you with grace, then you can extend that to someone else. It stops being about you. It stops being about the victim, you as the victim, or you being hurt, or I've been in that position. And I had to stop and think, and I'm like, but hold up. I made decisions that would tear people down. I've talked to people, wrong. I've torn people down. I've done things to hurt people. And God gives me grace. And so because I've experienced that, I can extend that grace back to someone else. But that didn't happen right away. I had to go through life. I had to go through experiences in order to really understand what grace was in my life and how to freely operate in it. It's too many people that are accepting grace, accepting it, that love, that type of love, and expecting it, but not giving it. Catch that. You're accepting it. You want it, but you're not giving it. You have to be in a position, a humble position, where you can be able to really be open and receive what it is I'm saying to you today. Because if I don't say anything else, this is what I wanted to get to you today. Grace, the Bible defines it as unmerited favor. God is telling you you don't deserve it, but he's going to do it anyway. He's telling you you haven't been this perfect person that deserves what it is or the position that he has you in. It's not because of your good work that you're in the position that you're in. It's not because of you just being the best that you can be, that you made this certain connection that took you to the next level. It's not because you just talented and now God is elevate you because you're talented. It's not about any of that. But it's his love for us that graces us, that gives us the ability to be able to operate in areas and in places on our platforms that we don't deserve. I had to collide with life before I can be able to understand what that truly meant. And I thank God for it. I really thank God for it. We're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back for me to close up with this subject of grace. Thank you for staying with me. Make sure you like, share this, and go back and listen to it at a later date at the same time. You guys stick with me. I'll be right back after this.
You're listening to Your Slide Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry was live worldwide.
Has anyone ever told you that you were a queen? Have they told you how valuable you really are? He gave you the moon, the stars, the sun. He gave you everything. He gave you the pearls, the fur, the diamond necklace, and the rings. He told you that you were his queen and that you two would never part. How many other women has he said that to? And then he broke your heart. Girl, I can't let you just stay in this place. But that was so long ago. Can I tell you you're blessed? You have to remind yourself. Come on, say it with me. I'm more than a conqueror. You're more than a conqueror. Girl, you are so beautiful, 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 beautiful. Girl, you are so find yourself. Come on, say it with me, I'm more than a conqueror. You're more than a conqueror. Girl, you are so beautiful, 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 beautiful. Girl, you are so beautiful, 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 beautiful. Girl, you are so beautiful, 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 beautiful. Girl, you are so beautiful, 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 beautiful. Sis, can I tell you that you are vibrant, talented, you're blessed. You're so much more. Let your light shine. You're so beautiful, 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 beautiful. Girl, you are so beautiful, 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 beautiful. Girl, you are so beautiful, 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 beautiful. Girl, you are so.
Amen. Amen. That had me like, that empowered me. Beautiful. Beautiful. I hope that empowered you, especially ladies. I've been doing a lot of traveling and a lot of speaking at different, events and conferences. And that's one of the main things that we've been doing is just encouraging women across the globe. So I get an opportunity to go to Kenya and in just a couple of weeks. So I'm very, very excited about that to speak over there and to be involved in such an awesome conference, the I Am Her International Conference, where we actually completed a book, 31 Ways of Influence, and it is now a bestseller, not only internationally, but here in the U.S. So we're definitely excited about that. Thank God for all the support with that particular book. And we have more coming. Yeah, more coming. I have two books that I'm writing personally. I'm almost have those completed. But we also have a release to another anthology, the Cream Colored Sisters, that will release December 7th of this year, guys, in Miami, Florida. We'll be having a conference down there. So if you are interested and can make it out, I will encourage you to make it out. Gentlemen, get the tickets for your ladies, your wife, your mom, your kids, your baby girls, and get to this conference. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be major. If you've been following my page, then you know just a tidbit about what it's all about. Is a series of women that are sharing their life experiences, and the basis of it is my past pushed me into my destiny. So we didn't just stop at the situation and the failures and those things that happen because of our experiences, but we took those experiences and they fueled us into our future, into our destiny. See, a lot of times we don't understand exactly what God is going to do with the decisions and the results of what we created ourselves. But a lot of times God is orchestrating and moving things, and we giving credit to the enemy. We're giving credit to the enemy and he did this, but we actually made the decision. But see, God didn't stop it. God didn't, he took his hands off of it for a season or for a minute, and he allowed things to happen because it was going to push you into the place that he needed you to be. It was going to make you understand life on a different level. It was going to make you see with a different set of eyes. It was going to make you feel with a different set of feelings. It was going to gift you something. It was going to grow you up. It was going to stretch you and push you into the destiny that He has for you. Not what you have for you. Not the within the realms of the comfort, that you're wanting to be in. Not around just the people that you just want to be around. Not it. This opens up to so much more, because when God is doing something, it's on so much. The stage or the scale is so much greater. It's bigger than what we can think or imagine. And so we've been talking about grace. I've been talking a little bit about grace here tonight because it was so on me, so much on me. Even in this past week, that I felt like I just needed to share just a couple of minutes and remind the listeners, remind anybody that will hear this podcast, how blessed you are to receive the grace, the unmerited favor. And a lot of times that we forget when we're upset with people, and when we're not forgiving people, and when we're holding grudges against people, we forget that God did the same thing for us, as far as forgiving us, as far as giving us the grace, where He still allowed you to move forward. He still allowed you to be blessed. He still blessed you despite you. But what I have a problem with, and once you get to this point, you should have a problem with it too. If God can bless you, why not them? It doesn't matter what someone's done to you. We got to get to that point where we just know that we're all flawed people. We're all flawed people, undeserving of grace, but God gives it anyway. God keeps you anyway. He moves you forward anyway. And again, like I said earlier, this is not putting a stamp on there or condoning anything where we just running out there living our lives against the will of God for our lives. Because God knows how to orchestrate and get you back in line too. But what I am saying is that we got to release some of this anger, some of this hate, some of these things that hold us hostage. One thing I can tell you, everybody that's listening, is that the more you hold on to pain or hurt or all these different things from brokenness and relationships and different things like that people have done to you. And I'm speaking about relationships because these are the areas in which this is more prevalent. Grace, extending and receiving. And so we have these broken relationships, we have broken trust, we have all these things that happen, and we can't extend grace. We want karma to come on them. We want them to receive what they deserve. But have you stopped to think about what you deserve? Have you stopped to think about what would happen if God took His hands completely off of you? Have you stopped to think about what you actually should be getting? It's not until you collide with life and when you get down into the valley that this can truly be understood. It's in that rough place, because in that place you find out how weak you really are, how dirty and filthy we really are, that our heart really is. And without God, aside from God, we can do nothing. We can be nothing. And it's going to take a relationship with Him in order to get this. Please hear me, guys. It's time to release this pain and this hurt and this hatred and allow God to restore your heart so that you can move forward and do the things that God has for you to do. So that you can move forward and walk freely in His will. The moment that you decide to release a person is the moment that you become free. You're not forgiven for that person. You're forgiven for you so that you can truly release it. So I hope that blessed you guys. I hope that you really received what it is that, God gave me this week and that I wanted to share with you. And I am a living witness. I was able to release, just off of things that happened. I've been hurt. I've been, dealing with a lot of different things. But then I had to really understand, and this has been over the course of a year, I had to really understand that it's not about me. And I've had some messed up decisions. I've had some messed up results because of those decisions. And I'm undeserving. But God did it anyway. And so I bless God on today. I bless God for the doors that He is opening to new stations that, will be I'll be sharing. My voice will be heard across the nations, traveling to different countries and being able to share and empower other people. You can't tell me what God can't do. God will do it for you, but you have to release the pain, you have to release the hurt, and you have to release the unfair expectations that you have of people in order for God to do a work. It's grace, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's been an honor to be able to share this word with you. Please like, share, and follow, and make sure that you tell somebody about this. Share it with them. Send it to their inbox, Like and share Dr. Tranell Stewart. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I want you to stay connected with me to see this journey, see what God is doing. All these things that are happening is not for me. It's for you. It's for all of us. And so I want you to be on this journey with me. I love you guys to life, and I thank you for taking a few minutes to just spend with me. This is Dr. Tranell Stewart. You're listening to Late Night with Dr. Tranell Stewart on Positive Power 21. And I love your family, and I'll see you again on Wednesday next week with a special guest. Y'all stay tuned to hear who it is.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of Double X.
Positive Power 21.org. Internet radio.
You're listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.